Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Mackenzie Kellier, also known as Mother Hummingbird in the internet realms. And today I just wanted to give a deep dive on how I use MyFitnessPal in tracking my splits in the gym, and how that has totally changed my ability to actually attain and reach my fitness goals like never before. So, rewind into the past, I've had issues with binge eating, with over restricting. So I have been on all these ends of the spectrum where it's like eating way too much for my needs and then eating way too little for my needs, and I just had an issue in the past with emotional eating and just had issues in the past with food and things like that. And this is something that feels really good and feels really healthy and feels like I have my food intake under control, but not in a disordered way, but more of a mindful way of okay, I know for a fact that I have eaten enough today. I have hit my protein goals for the day, and I'm good with that. So if you're someone who needs a little help reining it in order to meet your goals, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so the first thing that I did when I started to realize that I was plateauing for over a year, I had a baby. Okay, first and foremost, I have had a human child. I made a human child and it gave birth 2 years ago. And the first year postpartum, I lost all the weight really quickly, and I was feeling good. I was feeling really good. And I'm still feeling really good, but for the whole second year postpartum, I just plateaued. I was weighing the same as I did after my first year postpartum. And it's not all about weight for me. Let me just disclaim that, because I am in an active recomposition of my body. So I don't really care about weight loss, I guess. I care about recomposition. And so what that means is I'm trying to lose fat while I am gaining muscle at the very same time. And the way that I do that is through tracking my calories and being in a caloric deficit, as well as tracking my protein and making sure I consume enough of that. And also working out in a progressive overload, and I'll explain this in a moment. So I'm tired of plateauing. I'm tired of being in this plateau that I was in for a whole entire year. Sorry about the dog barking. Luna! Yeah, so anyways, I was tired of being in a year-long plateau, essentially. So I decided that some things needed to be reined in. So the first thing that I'm going to show you, and I'll include screenshots, is this app. It's the MyFitnessPal app. It's loading right now. Okay, so as you can see, it shows you your calories for the day. Swipe over, it shows you your main macros, which are carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And it gives you goals based off of what you are trying to do. So if you're trying to lose weight, it's going to put you in a deficit that it's going to help you reach that goal, basically. I'm going to screenshot this and put it on the screen right here for you guys so you can see it more up close. But in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, there is that little lightning bolt with the streak. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched my previous videos, but basically, a huge thing with habit tracking is being motivated by a streak. And that's something that this app does, is it has the streak in the upper left-hand corner so that you can see how many days you've been on your habit. And it's ultra motivating, especially, for everyone, but for me especially, because when I personally see a streak happening, say for example, today I'm on a 26-day streak of being in a caloric deficit, I will not let anything mess that up. But if say for example, you're intuitively eating you don't really know if you're in a deficit. I don't know, when I intuitively eat, I intuitively want Tres Leches cake every single day, so it doesn't really work out for me. So if you are serious about changing your habits, having a streak counter is something that is really, really helpful. And this is something that it talks about in Atomic Habits, the book that I'm always like ranting and raving over. So as you can see, it shows you like your calories for the day. I'll screenshot this. It shows you your calories you have for the day, the food you've eaten, and then if you have a Apple Watch and you're tracking your exercises, say if you run a mile and you burn 100 calories, you see that in your watch, you can put that in your phone, and it will factor those numbers in. Okay, the second thing that I want to talk about is progressive overload. So when you are working out in the gym and you're being super sporadic and just kind of doing random things, like, good on you for making the first step and just showing up to the gym. But if you are not progressively overloading, which means doing the same lifts and tracking them on a piece of paper or in an app or whatever you do for like at least a 5-week period, you're not going to see consistent progress because you aren't consistent in the lifts that you're doing, basically. And I'm not a health coach or anything. This is literally just what I have done that is working and how I've lost 10 pounds in the last month. So basically, I asked ChatGPT and I'm not a huge proponent of ChatGPT, but basically I asked ChatGPT to create splits. Now, this is something that you can put into ChatGPT too and copy paste whatever you need. I put into ChatGPT, I said, give me splits for an entire week of workouts that is glute focused and that has an ab workout every day, because fun fact, you can work out your abs every day as long as you're changing up what you're doing. Your abs heal so quickly, you can do those every day. So anyways, I asked ChatGPT to make me workout splits for every day of the week with a progressive overload in mind. So on my little schedule, I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but it has like Monday through Sunday, basically, and I wrote down all of the lifts that ChatGPT gave to me. And today's Friday, so this is my first week of doing these splits, and I'm telling you, I am so fucking sore and I can feel it working. I only have Saturday and Sunday left, but yeah, it's been really great. Just splitting things up, having my exact lifts that I'm doing written down, and then on the back of the paper, every lift that I do, I write down the pounds, like the actual weight I did in my working set of those lifts. That way, when I go back to these same lifts next week, because I'm doing this 5 weeks in a row as a progressive overload, I'm going to be able to see the weight that I did last week. That way I know to increase it the next week. You see where I'm going with this? You have to be progressively adding on more weight, or you're just gonna plateau or maintain. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that. I've been in a plateau for a year, and I guess it's better to maintain than like gain weight, I guess, or like fall off completely. So I'm glad that I maintained at least for a year, but I am ready to go to the next level. Okay, so that's all I really have for you guys today is, basically track what goes in, track what goes out, and you will have a more thoroughly guided path to your goal. If your goal is to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, which I feel like is a lot of people's goals, you know, and so if this video is helpful, go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. And Kaya is saying hi. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.